We're making healthy homemade sloppy joes. So I'm adding 1 onion that I chopped up to my pan, and we're just gonna saute this until it softens. Once it's been a few minutes and your onions have softened, you're gonna add in 2 cloves of minced garlic and stir that. Next, we're gonna add in a pound of ground beef. I have no idea why that looks darker than that, but hopefully it's okay to eat. Let me know in the comments. And we're just gonna cook this until there is no more brown left in the meat. So I'm just breaking apart the ground beef. You could also use ground chicken or ground turkey if you prefer. But I am using grass-fed ground beef. Okay, we are getting there on our ground beef. Just gonna cook a couple more minutes until you can no longer see any pink. But I'm sure you guys already know that. But for anyone who doesn't, we're gonna keep cooking a few more minutes. Okay, once your ground beef is fully cooked, you're gonna add in some salt, probably about a teaspoon. Next, you're gonna add in some ketchup. I'm using this unsweetened ketchup so that there's not a lot of added sugar, because believe it or not, sloppy joes are full of sugar. So we are trying to avoid that and just make them a lower sugar, healthier option. So we're adding in 1/2 cup of no sugar ketchup. If all you have is the sugar ketchup, that works too. These are still gonna be healthier than the pre-made stuff. So if you have regular ketchup, that works too. I'm just trying to keep these lower sugar. So we can mix that all together. Next, we're gonna add in some chili powder, smoked paprika or regular paprika, garlic powder, and some onion powder. And those are our seasonings for our healthier sloppy joes. Next, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of mustard, a tablespoon of tomato paste. This is gonna help thicken the sloppy joe sauce. And then also 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I know that I said I wanna keep these low sugar, but 1 tablespoon isn't that much compared to what is in the classic sloppy joes. And then last but not least, we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of water. So I probably could have used a larger pan, but I did not think that through properly, so we're working with what we got, and we're just gonna mix this all together. So just gently mixing this together, and then we're gonna bring it to a simmer and let it simmer for a few minutes, and then that is it. How easy. And I'm also gonna serve this in a really healthy way, so stay tuned for that. So as you can see, this is starting to simmer. So we're just gonna let it simmer and stir occasionally for a few minutes. Okay, our healthy sloppy joes simmered for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. You could actually simmer it longer if you want them a little bit thicker. I am fine with this, and we are hungry, so we're gonna dig in. I'm gonna show you a really healthy way to serve your healthy sloppy joes. So I did a taste test already of the sloppy joes on their own because I wanted to make sure they had enough seasoning and tasted like real sloppy joes, and they're perfect. So I'm gonna set this aside. And how I like to serve these healthy sloppy joes is take a sweet potato, and you're just gonna kind of break your baked sweet potato apart. I'm using 1/2 of a sweet potato, like so. And we are just gonna scoop our sloppy joe right onto our baked sweet potato. This is such a good combo with a little bit of natural sweetness from the sweet potato. Okay, and here we have our healthy sloppy joes that are lower sugar, made with simple ingredients, super easy to make, almost as easy as the kind you'd buy at the store. And it's super good on our sweet potato. So let's go in for a taste test. Yum, smells so good. That is so good. With the sweet potato, this is such a delicious, healthy meal. And it also tastes like comfort food. It tastes like my childhood. I grew up on sloppy joes, so I would only give an honest review when it comes to the homemade version, and these are delicious.